Cody's a girl.
All right, hey, we're live. Cool. We're on.
Oh, no way.
Yep.
Oh,
It
shoot.
finally worked.
Oh, shoot. I guess I'll sit down.
We got Hollywood in the house right here.
Oh, I wasn't prepared. Sorry, I'm not prepared for this, you guys. Sorry, I'm just not prepared at all.
It's so funny. He was over there talking. He's being all serious. He's got these glasses on and this fur and stuff. And he's like, "Yeah, you know, my rig coming up. I got some new build things I'm going to be doing." And he's talking all serious, and he's looking like this. So anyway, how y'all doing?
What's up, everybody? Yeah, this is my beaver pelt. I just figured I'd show it to you guys live, see what you guys think. It's
Cool.
just like any good overland accessory, it accepts patches. So we got some exclusive Down2Mob patches.
Oh yeah, I got one in my truck now. I put it on the headrest for my passenger side.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So these will, I'm gonna give a bunch of these away soon, I think.
I think they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're here in Arizona. We just got done truck camping. I had a really crazy day yesterday. I got stuck on a trail again, and it was a trail that had actually washed out, and my front tire went down and got stuck in like a little bit of a ditch. And if it would have rolled, it would have gone down like a 20-foot cliff. So I spent a good part of the afternoon digging and building that area back up, and then used my max tracks to get out of there. And if it wasn't for that entrenchment tool that I carry, that one from World War II, or the Vietnam era, there's no way that I would have been able to get out of that. So it was nice to be able to not get stuck. But that's why I showed up so late, and I was all sweaty, and my batteries were. I thought I was charging my Jackery when I was out there, but I unfortunately I didn't have it all the way plugged into my cigarette lighter. So the whole time that I was out there doing self recovery again, I wasn't charging. So I showed up to camp. I had no juice. I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just chilling." We drank some beers, recorded a podcast. You got a beer on your up there.
I wish I had a beer on my shoulder.
A bee, yeah. But yeah, so then we recorded a podcast last night, and I cooked Phil my world famous breakfast burritos this morning.
I will tell you guys, these are actually, I'll be honest, I was skeptical because I cook a very similar burrito. Thanks to you, though, because when I first met you, you're like, my favorite thing's bacon breakfast burritos.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, the organic ingredients, all the stuff, it actually makes a difference. It was great.
Oh, yeah, I think the ingredients, and I use like, if I can go to Whole Foods, I get the organic dry rub. Let's see, what is it? It was the dry rub, hickory dry rub, I think is what it is. That bacon makes the best bacon grease on the planet. If you leave a little bit extra in your skillet when you're cooking up your eggs, that's where the magic happens.
That was funny though. I'm already getting hot in this, by the way, so I'm gonna take it off. This is just a joke, but it's a fun thing.
Actually, he always dresses like that.
I will tell you real quick before I leave the beer pub. Ashley got this for me at Northwest Overland Rally for my birthday, and I love it. So, anyways,
come here, Sierra. Say hi to the crowd. Here comes Sierra. Oh boy, well, she's gone. There's Coda, right there.
Come here, Coach.
Come here, sweetie.
There she is. So, anyways, where we are. So, Brian got stuck yesterday, and so where we are, I'm not gonna actually name the mountain because I like it that much. Anyways,
it's a great area. We get this view
in Arizona, in between Payson and the valley.
Yeah, check this
out. So there's like this Jeep trail that we took a while ago that goes this way, and it's basically right outside of camp, and it's a gnarly trail, and there's a way easier way to get in. So Brian, and he's messaging me on Facebook, and I'm like, why? This is easy, to get to if you plug it in on maps. Well, I forget. Brian doesn't have his phone. He's old school. He's looking at maps like, I'm going to get the best way out there, and he took the gnarliest way out. And I'm like, oh, shoot, he probably took the hour and a half. It's about an hour and a half.
Yeah, and I spent
to get here.
And I spent 2 hours digging out. To build that thing, because it was like the problem was the trail was angled like this, and it was coming around, and the drop off was down this chute, and I was like, if I go any more forward, I'm gonna fall into this thing, and so was able to back up out of it, but I had to build up a ton of stuff and bring up all this rock that had fallen off the road. And then I dug out one side of the road and made it more level. It's all because of that entrenchment tool.
Nice, man.
Yeah, but I feel it today, man.
The entrenchment tool does a lot. Shout out. We got a shout out from Pennsylvania. Hello from California.
Awesome. What's up, man? Lucas Edwards.
Super cool to have everybody from around the country.
Simple Trail Overland.
Hopefully around the world. Let's see if anybody from Australia, I wonder, is tuning in.
I wonder if we'll have anybody from the People's Republic of North Korea. I had that on the podcast. Craig and I were looking through analytics one time, and it was like, what? We have somebody from North Korea?
Oklahoma.
It was our psychedelics podcast.
Another PA in the house. Nice.
Yeah.
What up, Luke?
Oh, yeah. Blake's a cool guy.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Lucas Edwards. I know Lucas.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to Tennessee soon. I want to go see my brother down there in Brentwood.
Yeah,
Hey, what you
but
looking at, Coda?
we wanted to answer some questions too. Go to girl.
Yeah, the stories that Phil was telling last night about his trip up to Alaska were amazing. So I got a lot of those on tape. And
yeah, and I'm going to be telling a lot of those on my channel. I was talking to Brian a lot. It's been like honestly a big like emotional roller coaster in such a great way to reflect on such an epic trip and also try to like process it, get it into these tell the story for everybody, and it's going to happen, but yeah, it's taken longer than expected. So people on my channel have been like, you keep teasing, you keep talking about this, like, are you really down to mob? I've had some comments, are you really down?
oh, dude, those are people just wanting to get a reaction.
Yeah,
you get them on every channel.
But no, it's coming, and for now, I have fun stories.
Well, and like and like those pictures you were showing of the Northern Lights,
the Lights, the aurora,
and then like and then how the sun was going down and the Northern Light was in the sky, and it was. I don't want to give away the photo, but
you can. I
mean, I thought I'm going to Alaska.
Yeah,
I'm going to the Yukon.
Everybody needs to see it. It's something that's
amazing.
I look up in the sky in a different way now. Like I look up at clouds and I'll see them lit, and I'm like, oh, is that? And it's just always.
Just a workout point for me.
He's just got stuck on the view.
Sorry,
but no, the aurora is really cool, and it's something that's totally worth like planning out and like trying to see when the clouds are the best, and when. That was when we saw it the best, was when, and thanks to Ashley, she did a lot of research to see this spot will be the best, and there's no clouds, and the aurora is strong this night. And
that's awesome, man. I didn't realize you could forecast it, so therefore you like know when it's going to be the best and get set up in a really cool spot.
Yeah, but with that said, the first time I saw it was 3 a.m.
Yeah, you said you went out to go use the restroom.
Whoa, awesome. Is that really what this is? Yeah, but yeah, cool, that was cool. So much cool stuff about. I mean, kind of cliche. It's like a lot of what people say. It's you just that open. You just keep driving. It made me actually like driving a lot more. Like every time I get in a car now, and I have to go 5, 6, 7, 8 hours. If I don't have to be anywhere by a certain time, well, then I love it because I can stop along the way, take my time.
Oh, I love that.
When you have a truck camper, I mean, it's freedom.
It is, and
it's a freedom of your schedule more than anything.
Hey, tell your story. I forgot I left my door open. I want to drain my back. Yeah, be right back.
Brian just leaves me here live on YouTube, all alone like this. No, I'm just kidding. It's always fun to talk to Brian though. Let's see some comments. We got Tennessee enjoying your channel, Phil. Just really sorry. Thanks, Jonathan. Appreciate it, you guys. It's really fun. Brian got this whole YouTube thing, like, got me stoked on it. I had 2,500 subscribers when I met Brian last year, and
now
we did
it. Me, which is awesome.
Well, I didn't mean to bring the numbers up.
No. I've been wanting him. I knew when I met Phil, I was like, this guy's gonna blow me out of the water. He's awesome.
Yeah. So, but no, it was. It's been really fun to meet up with you, collaborate again. But okay, Gil asked, how's the drive through Canada to Alaska? So we could talk about that for so long. I would say the main cool thing about the drive is that you really don't see a lot of other people. You can keep driving. No one's passing you. And you're just like, we saw bison off to the side, as many as like 140, like huge herds. And we would just pull over on the side of the shoulder and stop, and there would not be anybody passing you. You'd just be, we pulled over with our adventure bike friends that we had just met and literally had like a little party watching these bikes. It felt like a party on the side of the Alaska highway. Like, so there's so much good stuff along the way. I think there's so many like things you could say about the drive. You got to do this, you got to do that. But at the end of the day, the drive there's not that many routes. Wherever you go, you're going to see amazing things. You really don't even need 4-wheel drive.
Really?
That's a lot of what I wanted to talk about and share with people is like, there was a lot of spots we could have got a cheap little RV or a trailer or whatever. And that's the most encouraging thing I think to share with people about going to Canada and Alaska is you need a reliable vehicle.
Yeah.
That's it. It can be 2-wheel drive. You don't even need this crazy. You need to be comfortable.
Because you said you saw some person in like a 1970 old school Westfalia with the skinny tires.
Well, so this wasn't even a Westfalia. This was, and it's even hard to explain. They're from France.
Oh.
They drove this from Argentina, by the way. All the way up to Alaska. They did the whole Pan Am, which
that's insane.
You go to Alaska, you see a lot of people of like, that's the end of the start of their Pan Am journey. So anyways, this was like a 1970s Volkswagen, like ambulance, weird little thing with skinny little tires beat our time on the Dempster Highway because we got it flat. And we were talking about perspective today and needing the certain rig or whatever. You see stuff like that, and
you're like, I don't need all the extra stuff.
I don't even know what I need anymore. It kind of rocks your world. It's cool to see.
I get that way when I see people that I see traveling full time on mountain bikes, and they have all their gear, and they're actually going on the highway and going to the next location. I see them through Colorado, and I'm like, okay, I consider myself like an X-wing fighter in the Star Wars world when it comes to overlanding. Those are the freaking Jedis.
Yes,
because they do everything self-powered. There's no vehicle. That's insane.
And you see people. That's the other perspective, jaw-dropping thing. You see people on bicycles riding the Dempster Highway. This is 600 miles of gravel shale. And we saw grizzlies. When the time that we saw this grizzly grazing and we watched them for a while, there was guys on bicycles. And you're talking, there's no trees. This is tundra. They can see you from a mile away, run at you, and you got nothing to do. If they want to. And I mean, they're eating berries out there. So anyways, and people that ride bicycles in these long distances, you see so many of them, and I'm just like, that's a whole other level. So there's always somebody.
The ultimate badass,
yeah. If you think it's crazy to drive to Alaska or Canada, like it's really not. It's just a lot of driving.
Weren't you saying that you had a grizzly come up or across the road or something before you got there, and it was like half the size of your rig, and your rig's huge?
Well, just when we saw the grizzlies, I felt like they were like, and I don't mean tall, more like just lengthwise. They were, my rig's like 20 feet, 21 feet. They were like solid 10. They were huge. They were just, we saw them from a big distance, but
that's crazy.
But
you're asking where we're going next.
I was looking at Chandler. Yeah. And found you through Brian. That's awesome.
Hey, right on. Yeah, Phil's solid. He's one of my, like, when we got together in Phoenix, it was funny because you like, we had talked maybe just a few times, and it was just like, oh, hey, you want to come up? Yeah, cool. Okay. And then like I was texting you on the GPS, and you were like, all right, I'll be there soon. And I didn't know, like, you see somebody online and you think, okay, I kind of get who they are. This guy's awesome, man. You show up, it's good times. We were laughing the whole time. Coda's great. Sierra and her get along fine. And then that snowstorm was fun.
Oh, that was amazing. Perfect amount of snow.
And then we had Brad there, Adventure Brad.
We met Adventure Brad. Yep. We met him spontaneously.
He showed up. I remember because he drove by earlier.
That was too good to be true.
Yeah, the guy in the para motor stuff. And then Phil has a video flying with him just recently out in California. But he drove past and he was like looking, and I was like, oh, because when you see another full.
I'm glad that he was. I'll be honest, he was a little bit more like, hey guys, like talking to us, and I'm glad because Brad is the coolest person that I've ever spontaneously met on the road, and actually I've met up with now 3 times, I think.
Yeah, and you guys had those awesome RC videos with the boats and
well, we've nerded out on all sorts of stuff. Yeah, but he made me fly down a mountain, not make me. Anyways, I want to answer some of these questions too. So back real quick, Chandler, where I'm going next. That's a loaded question. I'm sticking around Arizona for a while. I probably want to spend Christmas around here, and then I'm actually planning a new build, which is there's a lot to say about that I am still working on. So there'll be a lot more my channel will be a lot of videos about the new build and where we're going to go with it and all this fun stuff.
I have a secret. It's dope.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I'm going to be traveling all around the country next year, and I want to go to a lot of different shows. So different overland shows. And I really want to go to Alaska next year again with Brian. And we've been talking about stuff like that. Yeah. Getting up north during the summer at the right times.
Yeah. I think I'm going to do Mexico this winter. My friend Matthew, main guy from Portland, he takes a bunch of old Toyota Land Cruisers down there. Yeah. And then if Phil's got his rig ready to go, then he's going to come with. And then after I get done hanging out with Matthew and his crowd, then I think I'm going to meet up with my friend Tisha from Montrose. She's got a van that has a sick 4-wheel drive setup. I mean, it's basically bare bones on the inside, and she just paid for the rig because the suspension. No, it's like an old school van. She has like a solid front axle.
Very nice.
And, way up high. I mean, like I think she has a 6-inch lift, and she runs like 35s on it. Cool. And it's going on. And so she's building out the back of that. So I think we're going to go down there. And then after that, I've got a friend who I've never met before, but she's hilarious online. I know she'd be fun to hang out with. She's from Idaho, and she's down in somewhere in Mexico. So I'm like, well, if I'm in Mexico, I might as well go see her.
Yeah, you got some fun stuff and projects coming up, and
Yeah, I'm gonna do a different build on my truck this winter.
I'm excited about that.
Yeah, so we'll see what I come
The
up with.
projects are cool. And then Terrence here. What up, Terrence? Yeah, you commented on the Suburban video. I meant to get back to you on that. And so you got the O2 GMC Yukon, pretty much just like my rig that my parents and I have had forever. So that thing has 200,000 miles. They just put a transmission in it. Seems to be a pretty solid rig though. But you're wondering, do you think I should sell the camper to fund the Yukon more, or utilize both to maximize the versatility of being able to camp in both multiple? I would easy one rig, get it down to as little stuff as possible. I think Brian and I would always say,
yeah, go small,
as little things,
more nimble, and it's better. It's easier to drive.
But I think so. You saying you sell the camper? Remind me too, if you want, in the comments what camper you have. That might. I think it's a truck camper, or the Yukon. But I think so. A truck camper, a slide in, is I think what you're talking about, versus building out a Yukon. For me, that's like, if you're full time, that's a way different conversation. But I think you're probably talking about more weekend stuff. Honestly, Suburban, Yukon with the back,
and go stealth.
Yeah, stealth, because way lighter, easier.
That's what Craig does. I mean, I was telling you about how he, stealth camps in Brooklyn, and he was just up in Brooklyn, stealth camp in the city. It was like waking up in the morning with his dog in the back, making coffee, and then going out and going for a walk down 92nd Avenue or what, I don't know. But and then also he stealth camped in Wrigleyville during the World Series 2015.
Yeah, and a Suburban with tint, and our Suburban has tint. The backs are all like tinted. Nobody sees in unless they put their face up. Well, that's pretty weird if they did that.
And what's nice about that is, like, our rigs, we can't go into the city without being noticed.
Yeah,
and so people know that we're in there when they're set up. And if you have a stealth rig, you just have much more versatility.
Yeah.
So,
but I will say, with my rig and stealthness,
it's a 1989 Starcraft tow behind. Yeah, I would say if it's a tow behind, I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, for a trip like that,
unless you have like a family and more people to support. If you I traveled with Ashley in my camper for 3 months, and we didn't need more. So I think if you 2 people, even, you can do very light.
Let's see here. We got some other stuff. Let's see.
Great. Glad we're doing this great content. Thank you for that. This is super fun, by the way.
Yeah. As far as mailing address, I have a PO box in Crested Butte where I get my mail sent to. It's cheap and it's easy. And then when I'm there in the summertime working Parks and Rec, I get all my stuff sent to the town hall where my office is out of. And then, do you have a mailing address? It's permanent. Do you use your folks?
No, I've been doing that kind of a tough way, but what I've really been doing a lot is general delivery. USPS general delivery.
That's nice.
You can mail anything to a post office for free, and they hold it, and you go pick it up. So I picked up my Olight flashlight in Alaska to do that video right away on it.
Oh, cool. This guy, let's see here. Jefferson, those Chevy Astros are badass. I've seen a bunch of those. I mean, the nice thing about the Chevy all-wheel drive, I mean, I've seen people put like 31s on those and put like a 2-inch lift, and it seems nice because it's not the full-size blueprint, so you're going to be able to go on trails. It's a lot more narrow.
Yes.
But the only thing is, I don't know about lockers and stuff like that for that.
Okay, Jefferson, check out Live, Work, Wander YouTube. They have a video of them wheeling a all-wheel drive, I think it's an Astro, and it's got like a 3-inch lift or something. Someone lent it to them for a day, and they go on a trail run with a bunch of other rigs, and they were really impressed with it. That's the, best kind of video I've seen on that. But I've seen those rigs around a lot, and they're so cheap.
Yeah, and the thing is, you get parts for days.
Yeah.
There's parts everywhere. It's a simple vehicle to work on. I mean, I like the Chevy Astro Tigers. I think those things are badass. They're old school. I've seen some that are lifted, and it's just, I'm like, man, I'd love to roll in one of those.
Yeah, those things are cool. There's, the all-wheel drive.
Yeah,
all-wheel drive vans. You can pick those up for cheap.
Yeah, Jefferson, that's what I do too. I mean, I always use my vehicle as a base camp, and then I just operate out of there. I usually go hiking with Sierra or fly fishing. I don't have a mountain bike, but plan to pick one up. But yeah, I do the same thing, and that's why I want a small vehicle. Is that with my Tacoma, I can go on all the tight hiking, the tight mining trails in Colorado, because you got to think, like, the reason why Colorado has such an extensive trail system is because of the mining history, and typically those carts are narrow. unless somebody's gone in and done road improvement, what the Forest Service has on a lot of them. But
Mm-hmm.
you get back up in there a ways, and I mean, you're looking at like really tight trails. And I've had situations where it's like, if I was not up there, if I was up there in a full size, I would immediately be screwed because you couldn't back down from these areas, and it's tight enough to where I could barely get through.
Yeah.
And my tires are barely on the trail. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the mid size is great, and Tacomas are good too. I mean, like the Chevy Astros are a great option, but the Tacomas are nice because there's so many parts. You can go any direction you want. So
yeah, and those would be totally different worlds. I think the Astra, you'd get a lot more comfort build out.
Sierra, come here.
The Tacoma, though, man,
Come
you
here.
could go a lot.
Come here.
I think with the mountain biking too, if that's a big priority, like it was for me, mounting the bikes. You're gonna mount the bikes. I had mine mounted on the roof rack for a while, and I didn't really like that as much as the rear. I put them on the rear too. But yeah,
So
it's
the
all.
pups were around. So. Yeah, Blake, I'm trying to get him over here.
Oh, someone want to see the pups?
Yeah. The
All right,
pups are
let's
around?
get.
Come
Oh,
on,
Sierra.
Come here,
Sierra
babe.
for president?
Come here, babe.
Have you met Coda?
Come
Coda's
here,
pretty
sweetie.
cool
Come
too.
here. Come over here.
Hi, Code. She's like, "What are you doing?"
Come here,
Dad?
Sierra.
I don't like
Sierra,
this
right
at
here.
all.
Come on. Oh, babe. I got Sierra right here. What you doing, babes? All right, so we're good. We're back. Doggies are doing great. Okay, so let's see. Luke says here, he's got a nice 4-wheel camper Granby. That's nice.
Oh, Granbys are sick.
Yeah, because they're bigger.
Yeah.
My first lunch trip might be next winter. Yeah, hey, if you winter camp in that thing, you might want to consider putting in a wood stove because the propane on it can create a ton of condensation. And so that's something to kind of think about with those campers. That's another thing. Another reason why I like those pop-up campers. I was thinking about getting an old school Chevy Blazer, like a 79 or something like that, and then dropping a 6-foot 4-wheel camper in the back and cut my own pass-through. Have you seen those that are done like that?
Yeah, those
They
are really
fit
cool.
flush.
I like those a lot.
Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
flex
with the-
because it's a there's no like truck bed on it.
The
It's all one-
pass-through.
one same.
Pass-through would be really cool, but there's benefits of not having a pass-through as well. Like keeping just separate areas, separate smells, separate sounds.
That's true.
So there's, I don't know, it's just kind of nice in its own weird way too.
I'd love to have a pass through, but that's just because my camper is so small. I mean, I have a 5-foot ARE truck topper camper that I've been living in for 5 years, and originally I was sleeping diagonal on a platform bed, and I was literally like this far from the roof, and I was questioning my decisions in life. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? You know?
Yeah.
It was so uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And but now with the slide out, it's nice, but I just want to have a little bit of room to stand up, so that's why the build this one I think is good. But like you can go as small as you want. I mean,
Yeah.
I know people that freaking do this in Priuses, and I've seen Priuses way the hell back here. They have solar setups and everything, and they have the front seat that lays all the way down.
I love the different setups.
I think it's so cool.
That's what I try. That's what I've been most stoked about with my channel is doing videos about different setups, and especially the recent one of Keith and Tobias, these like home built campers. It's so inspiring. Like you look at them and you feel something. You don't just like. I don't know. It's good stuff.
Oh yeah. So let's say John. Hey, what's up, Jonathan? How you doing, man? Yeah, build up a Tacoma. Recently turned
Super
Oh yeah,
Outback.
that's nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get better.
Nice.
You're gonna get, that's a better
That'll be
vehicle,
fun.
especially for the needs there. So, what's up, Frank?
Yeah, and Luke, like Luke said, diesel heater can be good. What I'll say about diesel heater, I have a Webasto in this truck, and when Brian built this truck like 5 years ago, I don't know if there was cheap diesel heaters. I don't know if that was an option, but the Webasto is a really expensive unit, and I've had to have it serviced and some things, and it works great. It also heats the water, which is cool. But you can get really cheap ones, like you probably know if you're mentioning a diesel heater. On Amazon.
But the one
couple
thing,
$100. I've
Yeah.
talked to probably 5, 6, 7 people that are like full time using those and giving them a good seal of approval. And so yeah, cheap diesel heater.
The one thing about a wood stove though that's really badass is like the ambiance can't be beat. The crackling's awesome if you like that crackling stuff. And you can get cedar, which is what I use in my tent when I'm winter camping. That cedar wood when it starts burning is great. So you definitely and if it's snowing out, like you got your wood stove going and you just feel it's an experience. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Frank from Ontario, Canada. What's up, Frank? From over the border. That's our first Canada shout out here. But yeah, Chris says he has an Alaskan camper needs to show us. I would love to see it, man. I've seen a lot of the different Alaskans at shows, but the one I saw on the road, we saw in Dawson City, Yukon, and it was actually these gals that designed the very first flatbed Alaskan camper, and they had some trick stuff on that.
That's
so
pretty
they
cool.
went to their entry's right on the side, and they go like, and they drop it down, and these stairs drop down
nice.
out of like.
So they
I'm like,
engineered some cool stuff.
Yeah, in the back they slide out a big table. Anyways,
that's
Alaskans are cool. I love Alaskans.
Well, I love like the fact that in the wintertime it's no problem whatsoever. Like I met this guy that worked for the 14ers.org or the 14er Initiative, which is a nonprofit that takes care of 14er trails in Colorado because they just get trashed. There's a ton of people hike them. And he goes and lives in it all winter in Alaska. He has like this badass long bed truck and has I think it's an F350, and he has an Alaskan. He's like, it's heavy. He's like, but I can go anywhere, if his vehicle's capable. So
they're sweet. I saw a lot of them up north. A lot of Alaskans in Alaska.
That's awesome. And people thought you were Alaskan with that license plate you were telling me about.
Yeah, I've been swapping out
locals
Alaska.
Were like, oh, where are you from?
But yeah,
what's up, Noel?
And Gil's got a first gen Tundra, he says, with a camper top. Yeah, I love the first gen Tundras. Jason on Instagram. We did a video of his first gen Tundra with the 4-wheel camper.
Oh yeah, you saw.
He put that together for a pretty good price point, and it's a super cable rig. He actually just sold the 4-wheel camper to go even more minimal.
What did he spend on the build?
I think he got the camper for like $8,000. I want to say the 4-wheel camper used. It was a little bit older, but it was really nice. And then I can't remember numbers, but 10.
Yeah, you don't have to break the bank to do this.
It's hard to. Yeah, but you could get, even just looking at first gen Tundras here in Arizona, at least you can get them for around 10.
Nice.
100,
yeah,
150,000.
Tacomas are crazy what they're asking for those these days. I mean, have you seen the new ones? Like,
well,
it's a mid-size, like a TRD Pro for $52,000. That's ridiculous.
Well, the pros are ridiculous, but the Tacoma is a whole other guy. Well, no, I love Tacomas, but I think I like the off-roads personally if you're going to get brand new, because like my buddy out the door got a brand new Tacoma off-road for $35,000.
Oh, yeah,
that's a different.
See, I got
42 or 50, whatever. Like that's.
I got mine in 2005 is when I bought it.
Yeah,
and I bought it from a gal who had bought it for her grandson who thought he was going to move to California because I was living in San Clemente at the time. And she was like, "Well, he's not coming out here," and it only had like 3,000 miles on it, and I got it for $4,000 in a blue book. Dang. And she was like, "That's all." And she's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll just sell it." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." Let's see. Yeah. So let's see. What's up, Jason? Jay the Cave. Where do you usually go for a day trip?
That's a loaded question, right?
Well,
you got a couple spots, maybe.
Yeah. Well, this summer I operated out of Crested Butte. I was working for the town up there as a part-time gardener, and so I would go around that area. I'd just go up into like Slate River or Washington Gulch or Gothic area, go up to Schofield Pass, cruise back down in Devil's Punch Bowl and check that out. I don't know if did you see that crazy video of that guy on the motorcycle who fell into the Devil's Punch Bowl?
I did.
Yeah.
I actually saw that. It's insane.
Yeah, the only place that dude could have landed was that pool and not die, and he fucking landed right in that pool.
I've rode dirt bikes enough to see that. Yeah, it was rough terrain, and I think he got back far and kind of whiskey throttle, pull back once the bike jumps out and just
fell off.
It just took, dude, that was so sketch. But you know what's crazy about that is how he hits the ridge and then falls. Like he fell into water, but he must have been still pretty messed up.
He actually wasn't. He didn't break any bones. He had bruises.
Well, but still, like just hurt wise.
Yeah, he said. I mean, but like,
but yeah, I did remember
like
seeing he didn't
fall.
Yeah.
Let's see.
There was no water. Yeah.
But Jason, where are you at in Colorado? Because there's some areas that I'm pretty familiar with. And then Brock, like I've seen some sick exteriors and fringes. I've seen some sick trucks out here in Arizona. It's different. Like different areas have different types of builds.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah, I see a lot of long beds out here that are lifted to the sky, and I'm like, damn, those things can go through some shit.
Well, there are any big lifted truck in Arizona. It's like, where's the mud? Where are you going?
Yeah. The only thing I'm thinking about with that is like the washes and stuff. If people want to go jam them, but I don't know.
Now, when there's monsoon season, we get some good floods. Yeah, we can get some times where you can mob to lift a truck.
Jason, so there's some really great stuff in the Buffalo Peaks Wilderness area. On the edge of there, there's a lot of places to go camp, and I use my truck as a home base for hiking. And so the Buffalo Peaks Wilderness area is incredible. No one goes out there, and especially shoulder season before the summer crowd hits, and then after they take off at that first weekend in September. That's really clear. Down, if you go towards Buena Vista, Aspen Ridge on the south side it's 4 miles south, the 4 Mile South trail system. That's really awesome. There's great lookout points through there. And then if you have a really good vehicle, there's some fun 4x4 trails through there. So get the motor vehicle use map from the Salida Ranger District and check out Aspen Ridge. I think it's it's either Forest Service Road 185 or County Road 185, and you have to get off on 307 to go there from 285 when you're going over Trout Creek. So that's a good one.
Boom.
That's where I'd always go to get away from people in the summer. But it might be crowded now. I didn't spend this past summer over in the BV, Leadville, Salida area. I was in Crested Butte because I want to keep getting further away from Denver. And the whole idea of like working for Parks and Rec this past summer was I can go to different mountain towns now throughout any area of the West and apply in the wintertime for like a Payson, which still has a season in the wintertime. And so yeah, like it's cool. I can do summer Parks and Rec up in Colorado and then travel all winter, or if I want to go to another town and kind of plug in. It was nice. Like working for the town, I had so many people come up to me like, oh, I see you around town all the time. I'm a local. I'm so-and-so. And you don't get that if you're just passing through,
It's true. It's one thing
It's
that's
kind of a
really
protected
nice
environment.
about full-time living, truck camping, whatever, is settling down in an area for at least a week or two, and making it so it's hard to leave that area. That means you did something right.
Yeah.
But
See, so Noel, you're in the Springs. I didn't spend too much time down there. I would go up to Rampart Range when I was down and when I lived in Denver before I hit the road. And then since then, I mean, like the Lake George area is pretty awesome. Like that canyon, 11-mile canyon. There's fun camping in there. I think that's a protected waterway, so you have to go into specific sites and pay for them. But usually the sites are real rustic. There's not like campgrounds. There is up by the reservoir, but there's not along 11-mile canyon. And those different pockets, there's actually different sections of that 11-mile creek coming out of there that have, this section is brown trout fishing, and the next section is rainbows. And there's times where you can pull over, and if it's 11-mile canyon, yeah. Hey, what's up, Tyler? So 11-mile canyon's incredible. And then to the west of there, I mean, just going over like Wilkerson Pass and stuff like that, it's just beautiful.
Blah blah blah. Colorado. I haven't explored it as much yet. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and then as far as Tenkara fishing, Chris, yeah, I use the Hane rod. I've been Tenkara USA fan forever, and so I use the Hane rod and the Alana rod, and then I've caught up to like 2-foot cutthroats up in the Leadville area on the Hane rod, and I love it because it's like, I mean, as you know, you just telescope it out and jam, and you're good to go.
No, get on it, Phil. I will. I'm gonna explore Colorado.
Yeah, he's gonna come out. I think maybe this winter, if I'm winter camping out there with the tent, you got to come out for a week.
For sure. That would be sweet.
It's so much fun.
That would be sweet. One thing too, it's rolling up and it's almost gone. Chet, opinions on building a lifted pop top Sienna versus a lightweight truck camper. So hold on, Sienna, is that the van?
Yeah, it's a van.
So a lifted, isn't that a newer van? We need maybe some clarification on that. And also,
Sienna. Oh no, the Sienna
truck camper.
The Sienna. Let's see, that's a Chevy Sienna, right?
I'm thinking Sierra. Oh, I can't get Sierra out of my head. From the
she has that effect on people.
Yeah, I just can't get her out of my head. No, but Sienna, yes. So, but is that a van versus a
sweet?
Oh, cool.
Okay,
well, that sounds like a super
cool,
interesting.
Yeah, well,
build.
I remember those because they have a short wheelbase, but it's cool because the wheels are out towards the edge on both of them, so they're probably pretty maneuverable.
So, okay, that build versus a standard slide-in truck camper. Standard slide-in truck camper, you could probably have that bought and done in a few days or a week. This Sienna, like, that's an undertaking. That could be really cool in the overland. Like, whoa, this is way different. It might fit your needs better. But a slide-in, I think there's big benefits of a slide-in truck camper. You can take it off.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Justin? No problems. You're late, man. Welcome to the party. Let's see. So you're in Monument today. Nice.
I thought it was the minivan, everybody, but I just had to clarify because that's an out there build. That'd be cool.
Let's see here. Yeah. So anyway, so hey, so I think people ask like where we're going next.
Yeah.
I'm heading up to. I'll probably go up to Camp Verde. I need to hook up with this guy Timmy C. That I think it's. Yeah, Timmy C from the YouTube channel. I guess he goes up to Fossil Creek all the time and hangs out, so we're going to go in there. So I'm going to hit him up, and then after that, I'm going to Bears Ears. When I was an ambassador out there this past spring, I was working with the Visit with Respect program, and we've got 3 new sites that were added to our ambassador list of like going out and hiking and checking them out. So I want to check those out.
Yeah,
because like it's insane out there.
That
like,
area was really cool.
Yeah, that's where we
were last, right?
Yep. So we had first it was Sedona where we met, and then after that we met up in Bears Ears.
Yeah,
and the views from some of those places, like those ridge sites that we were at, it's like a 2,000-foot drop off. You camp right next to it. It's crazy.
Still the coolest cliff I've ever camped on.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, Frank just got a Northern Light on his F-250. Northern Lights are sweet, fiberglass. I've heard a lot of good things. I've read a lot of YouTube comments that are like especially on the best truck camper of 2018 being the Cirrus 820, because I love that truck camper. Being like, Northern Lights are better, Northern Light or Bigfoots. Those two people, they're diehard customers, so they must be doing something right. You must. So Frank, yeah, you love your Northern Light. That's good. I'm glad, Frank. Tell us more about it.
Yeah, Bears Ears is incredible. I love it out there. So it's cool too, because I signed up for the 1% for the planet, so I got approved for that. And what that is, for those that aren't familiar, it's just brands that you can donate either volunteer time or money and stuff like that to help out with different conservation things. So what I told them, I was like, hey, I travel all the time. I'd love to go around and work with these different conservation areas. And it's like, I do that because I like doing it, but also I get to check out all these badass places. And so, when there's like national monuments or areas that are taken care of by different nonprofits, like, where I was at Buena Vista, like Friends of 4 Mile, I worked with them a bunch. I love to camp there all the time, so I might as well help out. So that'd be cool, because hopefully if I can, they were talking about me possibly being an ambassador and going around these different areas and doing like a traveling road show for that, which would be kind of neat. So what's up? The best
that's going to be awesome. But I'm just laughing about the Salt Lakers. The best way to do it is rental car camping. You can't believe some of the trails those minivans can go on.
Just send it,
We were in BC, one of our last spots before the border, and it was actually the spot I was telling you about. I think I was telling you about where we climbed up this pretty steep, crazy mountain to get up to this waterfall that wasn't a waterfall. It was just next to the river. But anyways, we get all the way up there, and we look over, and there's like this Audi all-wheel drive SUV goes down like 3 wheels. His freaking driver rear comes off the ground like 2-3 feet, and I'm just like, that guy knows how to drive. Like, to your point, man, it's amazing when we were driving through last time in Utah. What was that?
Valley of the Gods.
Up to Valley. We drive Valley of the Gods.
Yeah.
We look behind us. There's like a dude in a Beamer by himself.
Yeah,
hitting the river crossings.
Yeah, like a 6
mild little river crossings, but and he made it the whole way, and we're just like, we're overlanding, man. It's like,
yeah.
But you don't always have to use 4-wheel drive to go.
Yeah, drive it like you rented it. That's for sure.
Drive it like you stole it. Drive it like you rented it.
Yeah. So like after this, you're actually going back to Phoenix to sell or to work on your rig.
Yeah.
And then eventually, get your new one going.
Yeah, exactly.
And so then Phil's obviously just hitting the road as soon as that happens. So
yeah. So that'll be good. That'll be good stuff.
Yeah. And I'm probably gonna stay at this campground for about 4 days. I got a bunch of stuff I want to do. I want to clean out my truck and do some hiking around here. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, good times. I'm happy to be back though. This is one of the spots that I camped at a lot while I was still working at a cubicle, dreaming of coming out full time. And man, I was just like, but right before we got started, I was just looking up at the trees. I was like, oh yeah, we're out here. Like, you really get used to it in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
But it just becomes just as cool every day. You just have those moments.
When I first hit the road, like those first couple of nights on the road, I was actually camping with my friends Benjamin and Valerie from Alaska, and it was kind of cool because they had been on the road for about 2 years by the time I had hit the road. So they kind of showed me the ropes. But I remember the first couple of nights, I'm like, man, this feels so foreign to be out here full time. Mm-hmm. But then now it's just like it's par for the course. Like every day, it's like wherever you're at, there you are. There's no destination to go to. There's no plan really, unless you have like some work commitments, which every once in a while, if you're collaborating and doing stuff with companies, you've got some different things where you need to be, at least in connectivity to get things uploaded. But, for the most part, it's a flexible schedule. So you kind of roll with it, because in this lifestyle, living this way, there's a lot of times that things come up that you don't plan on. And, like vehicle repairs are one of them. Those can throw you for a loop.
Yeah. We got questions on this too from Bronco Maniac about how many miles on our rigs and any suggestions for vehicle maintenance. I think I'm still figuring a lot of that out, but I have 192,000. I put 20,000 on this past year, which I tell some people, and they're like, "Well, that's a lot," and I tell others, and they're like, "What? That's nothing."
Yeah.
And it's like, well, it was all in a straight line. None of that is going to work, by the way, or driving to
miles.
the bank, or like,
Yeah.
well, no, not a lot of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's all kind of. So when you keep going, it's amazing. Anyways, on maintenance, I mean, I think doing your own. I've learned doing as much of your own maintenance, even if, like, to me, that was always a cost saving thing. And oil changes are one thing. A lot of times you could do your own oil change. You might not even save that much money. Is it worth it? But to me, it's like being more in tune with your vehicle, doing the oil changes.
Knowing how to do your stuff is awesome.
Being like once a week, like I'm gonna check my fluids.
Yep.
Checking fluids
and checking to make sure, like,
I mean, just simple stuff.
Yeah, and like boots and stuff like that on your axles and different, CV joints and your rack and pinion. Just be able to identify what's going on, because
and track bars and sway bar end links and certain things that they're gonna just take a lot more of a beating. But it depends where you're going, and that's why it's fun to stay somewhere. I mean, she's been parked 0 miles the past 3 days.
Yeah. Well, another thing.
I paid for some food.
Yeah.
Beer.
Well, what I do too is it's funny. I've actually rolled up to towns before, and I pull into the place to wash my truck, and I'm not washing my truck. All I'm doing is spraying out my brakes and my suspension. And then I get on the road, and people are like, "Fuck, that guy's truck is a mess," but he just sprayed out all of his stuff. And I do that to keep like the brakes clean and get more life out of them. Make sure if any rocks get stuck up in there, it's blown out. And then also just getting off all that debris, because like, especially if you're in Utah and Arizona, like the micro sand and the micro dust out here can get in anything. So that's what I do. Yeah. And then let's see.
And Chris, real quick, came in late. We are at we're kind of at an undisclosed mountain in between kind of Payson and the Phoenix Valley.
So. Yeah. And then as far as my rig, I've got 306,000 miles on my Tacoma. I did replace the engine last year with the Jasper. It's working fine. Some people love Jasper, some people don't. My experience has been fine. And I actually got a little bit better gas mileage because they increased the oil pan and reinforced the head gasket, which is what gave out on my 2005. So, it's working great.
Yeah, but it's all part of it, and I think it's I don't know, it's something that you can look at. Camping, being comfortable, having solar and a fridge and all this, but the most important thing is that your rig starts up and drives away, and you want to drive it. I think that's important, that you feel, I don't know. So I think starting out small too is, and it's not something I did really. To some people maybe I did. For full-time, when you talk about full-time, I think a lot of people are like, whoa, you live in that's small. But it's bigger, on the bigger end, and I see advantages. That's why it's cool to see your setup and constantly improving, because I see the benefits of that too. Yeah. So, and that's why Terrence was saying, how do I prep my Yukon for life out west? I don't know if you mean full time or more, probably just at least extended trips. Yeah, for sure. So Terrence, for extended trips, like I would say if you're gonna run at least a week or two, you're like living out of this thing, a fridge is pretty sweet. A little bit of solar, a little bit of fridge. And a comfy bed. Other than that, I mean, whatever you want to bring. I think the main thing is, where do you want to go, and also what do you want to do? Do you want a mountain bike? Do you is this like a dirt biking trip? Is this, those kind of things are important too. But a Yukon, Suburban, those are really, really sweet in that. And I used to camp out of them back in the day before I had my Jeep and the rooftop tent, and I had this truck and all this stuff. And I look back on that, I'm like, man, that was really good. You just got a sweet bed back there, and you got plenty of space, and you even have enough space to like put a fridge and things up further and have it all enclosed. So anyways, that's be my recommendation. Keep it simple, but add some things that might make it comfortable. I didn't want a pop-up truck camper yet. Have you ever had to get towed out of the backcountry?
Nope.
Jill says.
Almost. I got out.
Not out of the backcountry. I've never ever had to call for help on a dirt road, a recovery or anything. But yes, in Alaska, we had to get towed. And I have such a fun video series story to share about all that. And I'm again,
didn't you say you have a terabyte of information from Alaska?
I have about a terabyte.
Yeah. So he's gonna be kicking out videos for years.
So I mean, it'll be, oh
You make a whole playlist just on that, and then just share that shit with everybody.
So a
People love
terabyte.
it.
So you're talking 50 gigs of that might go into one video, and that's probably 8 to 12 hours of editing.
Do it, yeah.
So yeah, get on it, but at the same time, ooh. And also it's more been the just looking back on everything because it was so yeah. But I'm excited to tell that story and keep chatting about it too.
Yeah.
Check out Matt's Off-Road Recovery YouTube channel. I think I've seen that. Yeah, Chris, I've seen some of his fun recoveries. Also, you guys, if you want to, I don't know if he does a lot of YouTube, but if you go follow him on Facebook, you will be super entertained. Joseph Osuch, Osuch. He runs Arizona 4x4 Off-Road Recovery, posts tons of videos. I mean, he's literally the most, for the past 10, 15, probably 20 years even, this guy has like been dedicated to, if you're in Arizona, I'll pull you out any time of the day. So also, if you need anyone in Arizona, if anyone's stuck in Arizona, call Joe.
Oh yeah, so Pack Fan. I mean, that's easy. Just put a locker in. Just go to arbusa.com, get their rear air locker, then put in a compressor in your truck, and then you'll have onboard air that will power your locker, and then also you can air up and air down your wheels according to the trail that you're on. And then I mean, with even if it's 2-wheel drive, I know people that have 2-wheel drive Tacomas, they have like a rear locker and it can go anywhere. So you don't necessarily need 4-wheel drive for. I mean, I say that 4-wheel drive low is extremely awesome for crawling on trails, but you can get to 90% of the places with a rear locker and 2-wheel drive and a lift.
I think 4-wheel drive is the nicest to have, just so you know you're not being stupid. But it's amazing where you can go with 2-wheel drive.
And it's just like I think it's more about driving ability. And knowing like, okay, I'll look at this. Yeah, if I go on that trail, I'm screwed.
And I would say too, before you put a rear locker or any locker in anything, make sure you've had plenty of situations where you're like, this tire's spinning, this one isn't. Oh,
cool, Tyler,
I need a
later,
locker.
man. Yeah, Tyler, my buddy Tyler's got to take off. He's from Salida. So.
Nice, man.
Yeah,
good to have him.
See you, Tyler. Give us a good weekend or a good afternoon.
But yeah, on that point, it's like I would never.
He's got 4x4.
It suggests like, hey, go get a locker until you've been in situations where you're spinning and you're like, oh,
yeah, you're like, this is why
I need a lock. Yeah,
and it's it's like $1,000 just for the locker itself. I think it's $990, but it's worth it. I mean, that one time,
it will change. It will change the game for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So let's see.
Let's see what else we got here.
Yeah, so that's Terrence talking there. Yeah, let's see a Pack Fan. Yeah, there's a lot of easy trails in Colorado, but the further you get away from Denver, the better the trails get because you see less of the weekend surge, and so it's more just even flow with traffic, and that's what I love about being away from Denver. So,
I think you meant 9mm, 10mm for a handgun.
Yeah.
I think you meant a 9mm.
Yeah, I had a 45 for a while, but I sold that because I couldn't hit a barn with that thing. Basically, the world's largest, loudest noisemaker. Look at Coda sleeping over there. I gotta check this out.
So
I don't know if you can see Coda over there. Totally crashed. She's laying on the back, legs in the air. Sierra's over here sleeping.
These dogs just live the life. Another thing, real quick, with traveling on with dogs is like people ask like, what do you do with your dog when you go in? When you do with this and that? And these dogs live the best life. Like I see my friends' dogs and things, and they're treated well, but they're living in a house and they get to go in the backyard and they go on walks and it's disciplined. These dogs are literally rolling around in whatever dirt they want to. Yeah. They can go and walk around, then they do, and they go off and we're like, where'd they go?
Yeah,
and
but they always come back.
But so if we have to run into a store and leave them in the car, obviously in Arizona that's a big issue. That's why I don't live out of my truck in the summer here. That's why I get north. Yeah. But so heat is obviously. You can't do that when it's too hot. Yeah. Other than that, I throw Coda in the camper and I turn the fan on and I put a window open, and it's like you can leave them alone for a little while because they're having a great life. So traveling with the dog has overall been awesome and fairly easy.
Yeah. I don't know. Colton's asking about 10mm. No, I don't care that.
10mm is an awesome bear defense round. I just learned something, man. I didn't know that. Cool.
Typically, where I'm at, I operate in areas where there's black bears, and it's easy to scare them off.
So what's more useful, winch or max tracks? So that's a interesting way to phrase it. I would say a winch is going to be overall, just to say one or the other, it's going to be a winch. But if you're in sand or you're in snow, a winch is more serious. More things can go wrong. It's dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't just pull a winch out right away like fun and games like I used to with my Jeep. Especially when you have 10,000 pound truck.
That whiplash on it can be fucking deadly.
And that's what I've learned with my winch. When I first had the truck, I was like, hey, I got an expedition vehicle, 16,500 pound Warren winch. Let me pull you out. I'll pull you out, dude. Pull you out.
Yeah, that's definitely.
And then I got into some situations where like my truck would get stuck. I'd be pulling someone out. And I'd realize the main thing, not that I wasn't willing to put the effort, I'm putting stress on my gear for example, this was pulling a fifth wheel out of a parking lot. I might be out in the middle of nowhere and I might need my gear. So but anyways, I think they're both.
Yeah, the one really nice advantage about the Max Tracks is you can use the handles on the sides to dig things out, and they're 6 feet long, and so you can dig fast and get a ton of dirt or sand or snow or mud moved in a short period of time and start building your own ramps out of there. So like a winch is great if you're on just like an incline and you can't get out, or if you're just stuck way down in the mud and things like that. So like you said, more serious. But I would think like the whole time that I've been on the road, I've never needed a winch for self-recovery, but I've needed Max Tracks. I've needed that traction. If I had traction, I would be out. So
I've needed both. One thing I'll say too is Max Tracks are going to get you up and out of something, and a winch is going to pull you through something.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily going to get you up and out unless it's hard to reach those angles.
So Colton's asking about the onboard air. The compressors from ARB can be, they can only be a couple hundred.
Yeah, and they're okay. I've heard some people have issues with them, with the fuses blowing in them all the time.
I don't know.
So but overall, I think those are pretty great compressors. They're twin.
Yeah, and like a rear locker for a full size like yours. I know the Tacoma's $990 because I priced it, but what would the rear locker be for?
I priced out. I just asked a shop one day, like a random shop, just curious. They're a good, not random. They're a great shop for work that I get done on the truck, but not like custom stuff really. They were like $2,000. With labor.
The labor is a big one because they got to take apart your whole rear differential.
But if you do that, if you're in like Pacific Northwest, hit up Nitro Gears or like Mule Expedition. Those guys do really good differential work.
Yeah. Gil was asking if we ever get Loman on the road full time, or do you have a special lady friend behind the scenes? No comment.
No, I'll tell more about that. And actually, you guys, I haven't really talked about that a lot. You'll see a lot more in the videos. But so Ashley, I met gal at Northwest Overland Rally like 4 or 5 months ago. She traveled with me for like 3 months in the camper. It was amazing. We went up to the Arctic Ocean and Tuktoyaktuk and over to Alaska, and we had an epic trip. And she's off working on a cargo ship now, and I'm kind of doing my own thing. But that's been amazing. It was something that I got really comfortable being alone, to the point where I was like, I don't know. I like the ladies, but I don't know.
I like doing my own shit too.
But I saw like, wow, there's benefits of having a chick who's like really down to mob, just go and be a part of it and contribute. So that's been my recent experience, which is really cool. But overall, traveling alone is the best because you go into some, a bar or something, and like if you don't meet people, you're just talking. You're not talking to anybody. So you want to meet people because you're like, I'm going to leave here. What does it even matter? It's different than being in your hometown. And that's been my experience.
Yeah. And then my experience is I'm a little bit older. I'm 44. I'll be 45 next year, or actually this spring. And I actually go to hot springs and hang out. And, it's just, you end up meeting people there. So that's where I tend to meet girls. I'm not big on looking for a relationship. I don't really care to have a long-term relationship at the moment. I enjoy being able to go to all these different areas. But you meet somebody and it's a great vibe and you hang out for a bit. And then, what's cool about this community is like you end up meeting people that, like the girls I meet don't have relationship expectations, and I'm not trying to sound bad or anything, but that's just like, that's where they're at in life. They just want to go around and maybe want to go on a hike together or something like that. And it works out and maybe it doesn't. So, I'm certainly not looking for it. I'm not forcing anything. And it's great to meet gals on the road. It's fun to listen to their stories too, because they have a great perspective, and it's like it's different because it's like if they're full time and as a girl and they're by themselves, they have a different set of way they operate compared to how guys operate it back here, because there's a little bit less of a danger factor when guys are solo. So it's cool, you know.
Yeah, it's fun to be like I'll take care of you, and you're out here, and you're like, I'll chop that firewood.
Yeah, and they're like, actually, I'll chop it. I'm fine.
But
It's like very self-sufficient.
Well, and I say that with this trip with Ashley, we had a very big kind of lot of role reversal moments. I was more into cooking. I'd cook all the meals. She's a diesel mechanic. She's a engineer. Like, she works on cargo ships on these big motors, so she did a lot of the work on the truck that needed to be done, and that was amazing. So that's a cool thing too with the right lady. I think is like, yeah, she can add something good to it. But for me, it's been like, I care a lot less about what they might think about me or this and that, because it's just like, look, I live out of my truck. I'll be here for a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever.
And I'm honest about it. You know, like if I meet a girl, I was in Sedona last year and I met this gal, and she was like, well, you know, kind of what are you doing? I'm like, I don't even know if I'm ever gonna come back here. Like, I'm just being honest. I'm rolling to Anza Borrego. I'm having fun in Sedona. This is a great area to hike. I'm having fun in the wilderness areas, hiking all these different ruins, and I don't have a plan at the moment to come back. So like, if that doesn't work, then that's cool. Just tell me. I mean, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
And so I think if you're honest about it and don't bullshit people, especially like when it comes to situations of the heart, then you'll be fine.
Yeah, I've figured out a lot more about what I want out of a relationship, and honestly, to be like maybe harsh, I have a little bit higher standards in the sense of like, my life is pretty great right now. I've built up some things where I've got it kind of set nicely, and I want to make sure it's someone that could benefit.
And also compliment that. You don't want to be
exactly.
like,
and it's what they want to do. I mean, look, this is not what a lot of people actually want to do. They might dream about it.
Yeah. Well, and like some people don't want to do it full time,
Yeah, so. For sure.
Let's see, we're coming up on. We got about 3 minutes left here.
Oh, wow, this has been an hour.
Yeah, I know, this has been
Holy
fun.
Cow.
I'm gonna be doing this a bunch. And it's nice too. Cool. So I've got this little router right here. This is my.
I haven't even finished my beer.
my router from NetBuddy, and it's like showing the activity.
These things are sweet.
So
I got
with
one
that.
Too.
I mean, with that, and that's portable, and so I took the Jackery battery over here. We're using the WeBoost booster. I've got the WeBoost booster right on the ground over here. So that's what's making this happen. Otherwise, if I didn't have all those devices here, we wouldn't have connectivity at the moment.
Yeah, the Jackery stuff is cool, and the WeBoost,
that's essential.
Yeah, it's pretty cool to see that little boost.
Yeah,
that little boost every time.
So Chris asked, "What do you do for money on the road?" And Terrence, thanks, man. We'll definitely do more of these streams.
We will, man. Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
So Chris, that was actually something we were talking about. We'll end with this, but like, I'll go with mine real quick.
Yeah.
And so YouTube pays well. And then I've also been working with different gear companies. I did some stuff with Merrill last year. I do stuff with BioLite all the time. I'm putting together some winter packages with the BioLite marketing team for different types of things that are related to truck camping and also backpacking. And we'll have those packages out shortly. And then Bronco Manias said, hey, please do this again. And then other things too, like this past summer, the reason why I went to work for the Parks and Rec division is I got certified on how to run all the big heavy equipment like the Bobcat and the Toolcat and all those different things. What's that? And so the good thing about that is that when I get my own ranch, I'll know how to run all that gear or all those machinery, and that's very useful in the American West because most of the stuff out here is like if I want to live off grid and work off grid, I can work on these ranches, and these ranch owners need help, and so. Talk to NetBuddy and WeBoost. Oh yeah, we're already working with them.
Yeah, well, with WeBoost and NetBuddy is a little small. I think you definitely talk to him. But yeah, definitely WeBoost. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've been talking to NetBuddy. I told you about my story.
Yeah, you did.
Guy.
Yeah,
that guy's cool. he kind of shuns some people if you give him shit. So just be cool when you talk to
that buddy's awesome.
Yeah, but so that's how I make money, and then going forward, just doing more things, more writing, and I actually had. A company hit me up it was a large car company, so I'm hoping it's Toyota, but it's their ad agency. I had somebody contact me through an ad agency and say, hey, we need to, we'd love to get your media kit if you would want to send that over about what it takes to work with you. So it's nice to get to that point because I'll be 5 years this spring on the road. And I was like, well, if I just do it the longest, I'll win. That was my mentality. And so
put in the most work.
Yeah. What about you?
So yeah, for me, I quit. I was just telling Brian, I quit my job. I was a financial advisor. Not that fancy. I was just on the phone all day. And, but that was about a year and a month ago that I quit my job. I had a little bit of savings to lean on. And actually the day I quit was the day my YouTube channel got monetized. And I really put a lot of work in. I was like, this is going to be my full-time gig. And I've been able to pull enough out of that to kind of keep things going. I'm in some debt right now from the Alaska trip because that just took a big hit to the bank account as far as parts and gas and things. Honestly, I didn't really plan. I just went.
Yeah, that's cool that you just went.
Yeah, I just honestly, man, everyone, how much did it cost? Budget? How much do I need? I don't know. Maybe I should have paid more attention, but anyways, so I'm in a little bit of a hole there, and I'm working on that. But the cool thing is, YouTube has kind of been very serendipitously just working out to where at the right times I'll have these good spikes. So I just had a good spike in my channel, and the revenue, has been great this past month. So I've been making that work, but also
500,000 views in one video in 1 week.
Yeah, and 1.5 million in last month. So
what? You've had that many views in last month?
In last month on the whole channel, yeah. That's like 10.
Better. It's way better than mine.
Well, it's just.
It is. It's awesome, dude. I'm fucking stoked to see it. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what's cool about this community is like no one back here. There's no compare and compete culture. We live in our vehicles. So there's no arrogance with that. And so if you run across somebody who's acting like that, chances are they're the exception, not the rule. Everyone else back here is cool.
Well, and to your point, I'm learning a lot from you, like I have from day one, about like getting podcasts going, monetizing other areas of this lifestyle so that I can keep doing videos and keep sharing this with everybody. So I'm working with my coolest thing I'm really excited about is Olight. So you've probably seen on my channel, Olight flashlights. So I've been testing a bunch of those out. They're all super bright. They're all, you get a product and it's like, well, obviously I'm going to love this,
Yeah, it's like the sun. We turned on last time we were doing a podcast. I was like, damn.
It's like there's not a whole lot of bad stuff that I've really been able to find with them, but I'll keep looking. But anyways, so I've been able to do their affiliate program and be able to, kind of tap into some of those revenue streams as well, which I'm trying to do more of. And
the Salt Laker said financial advice, sell all your shit and go outside, which is pretty much the core.
Exactly.
I tell people, because people hit me up, they go, what should I do to get started? I'm like, sell your shit. I mean everything.
This is the main thing of my answer to that. No debt. I don't have I don't have stuff to pay off. I
mean, you had a little bit that you incurred from Alaska, but you have that paid off in a month or two.
That's the great thing is when my truck is paid off, it's all paid off so that when you get a few $1,000s over on debt in your credit card or something, it's like, well, I don't have many other payments. So maybe I'll just hang out. I'll go slow down. You just slow down a little bit. And
that's cool because if you overspend on your budget when you're traveling doing this, you just slow down for a couple of days and stay in the same spot. And you don't have any heating bills. You don't have any, you don't have any of those massive payments you have on your house. So it's real easy to fluctuate and scale down.
You have to have that entrepreneurial, I'll use that word, to be stoked about it. And I mean, we've been working all day, really. We were talking about this live stream all day and all the different things. And then yesterday, I've worked on 4 different videos since we've been out here, but it's just been fun.
Yeah, and I've been behind the curve because
about the lifestyle.
Yeah, if you guys remember in the beginning of this, I was talking about how I got here yesterday and all my batteries were dead and my computer was dead. Camera was dead, everything. So it's taken a while for me to get back up and running this morning. But
so Jeff says pop-up camper or hard shell for full-time?
I'd say hard shell.
I'd say overall, I would say pop-up if you just want a quick answer. But that's assuming that you're, physically
warm
fit
weather.
not even warm, not even that as well. It's a factor, but my vinyl I've been impressed with in cold.
Yeah, but you also have a diesel heater in there.
That's true. So for me, it's like if you can do it, if you're you don't have any physical things that, and you know what, the pop top doesn't even add that much.
Well, yours is a little different. I mean, your pop top is so well done, and it's only about a little bit on either side. There's the go fast campers that come way up.
The wedge.
People bitch about the noise because in the wintertime and cold weather you have high wind. You always have high wind.
I would say that's one of the worst things about the vinyl is actually the wind and the noise.
It'll keep you up all night.
You're not inside really.
And the thing about a hard
it's worth it for center of gravity if you want to go places.
Uh-huh.
Depends where you want to go.
Yeah, but what I would do is I do a pop-up hard side. I mean, you see people now making those, and you could easily transform a 4-wheel camper into where it could be accordion on the side, and then when you pop it up, it just pops out like that and then goes back down. So that's something to think about. All right, we're over an hour here, and I need to get
5 vehicles in my camper. I purposely stacked these vehicles up so I could sell for the highest profit.
Right on, man.
Terrence, that's funny.
We'll
man.
see you soon, buddy. Get to selling those things. We'll see you on the road.
Great chatting with you guys. I guess, drop a comment on the video, or you can always send me a DM on Instagram or something.
Then be looking for my podcast, Nomad Rambling Conversations from the Road. We're going to do an excerpt of podcast with Phil. So half's going to be on mine, and then half's going to be on his new channel. So when that comes out, we want to get his podcast, with all you people plugged in with that. And so my podcast, Nomad Ramblings, Conversations from the Road, and then his is going to be, Down to Mob, whatever he calls it.
Are you Down to Mob Conversations? No, I don't know. We'll come up with a catchy name, but and then I'm going to be doing a follow-up video with you about some of your plans. So that'll be on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe over there. And this has been super fun though. We're definitely going to do live videos independent, even when we're not hanging, I'm sure. And
the cool thing is too, so I use squadcast.fm for podcasting. So anybody that wants to get into that, that's a great online platform. You just need to have Google Chrome. As long as whoever you're talking to has a webcam and then headphones, the noise sounds great. I mean, the audio quality sounds great. They record them as 2 separate files, and it's actually a split screen that's live, so you can hit the record button, record your split screen, and then add your audio and show that on video and stuff.
Woo! So
we'll be doing that as well.
All the tech coming at you from
that's right,
the forest.
All right, cool. Well, we're out. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We will. Hey Dennis, it's no problem, man. This will be up on the channel when we're done. So as soon as we're done here, it just uploads as the video. So if you want to go back and check it out, you can. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We had fun.
Yeah, for sure. We'll be doing more of these. So should we move the chairs out of the way and let them just look at the view real quick?
Let's do that.
Yeah, check it out. Can you say the name of the podcast again, Brian?
Oh yeah, and I'll type it in here. So it's Nomad Ramblings. So Nomad Ramblings, and then Conversations from the Road. And that's what I host with my buddy Craig Coleman. I owe him a phone call because Conversations.
You're live and you got to get back to him.
Well, no, as yesterday I was planning on hooking up with him for a podcast episode, and I got stuck on that trail. So anyway, yeah. So here's the view behind us. And actually, you know what I could do is I can just pull this over here because we've got plenty of Wi-Fi, and we can show kind of where we're camping at. And it's cool. There's this ridge over there. You see that ridge? Then it just goes off into the abyss. And I don't know. That's probably a 2,000 foot drop down to that valley. And then coming back up, there's all those mountains down there.
Mm-hmm.
So the scenery is
sick.
Good stuff.
It's awesome out here. It's like right where the dirt road too is kind of deserty, and then you start driving up and it turns into pines. So it's like right for me, this is the spot where you get up into the pines again. And I've been needing some pines
Arizona
since I've been back.
Yeah, he was asking Colorado. I was like, nope, Arizona. But my channel is Colorado Backcountry Adventures, where we're tuning in. But we'll probably do some live streams in there next year when I get back. I'm going to be gone all winter. Mexico, Baja, different places. So it's going to be awesome.
Woo!
All right. See you guys.
See you guys. Have a great day.
Let's see.
Is it still live?
No, it just ended right now.